So before the video starts, I just want to say that 2018 has been a crazy year, and that's the only reason to why I am doing this. It does talk about some things that have happened in my life. With that, I don't want you guys to think that it's a cry for help and all that, because it does kind of get serious, especially towards the end. I am kind of vague about some things, so I don't tell you everything, so do not assume anything. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here it is. Life, something that's brought upon us all. Finding your place in it just like all the rest. Finding ways to live in it, which you've made it, and that of ways you want. Having fun, becoming happy, for which that has seemed to be the best, among with others telling you it is as well. But imagine this, pushing on till there's a gap in your path, and it looks like you're on the edge of a cliff, with a cavern below, and you're standing on the other side of where you wish to be, scavenging around for anything that will keep you staying aloft without falling off the edge. Maybe even something that will help you build to the other side. You push through the days a bit more, not seeing what's ahead of you. You're so blind to what's ahead of you, you end up walking into a dark room with no one to show you the way out. You end up feeling lost and struggling until you finally breathe. You start making new friends. It was harder than you remember. Leaning on to old friends to make them lead the way. Telling old and new, don't, stop, please. It's all a trick that you start pushing your friends out of with you, making sure they don't get stuck in it more. It was a trick that you regret years later with all the rest. Having to drop a friend that dragged your life down more, you're still liking him, hanging out with him, it seems, as almost each day. No moves, more talk, and hoping. You give up and say you're better as friends, and the days you thought were a waste weren't. Those days are memories you mostly only remember, and unused inside jokes. Year's over and you're left in despair from the last, doing a normal routine just like everyone else. People stating the obvious and you feel the only sane person left. Almost failing grades, holding back the blurry thought of the end, making new friends that you can't even see the faces of. Each day it is to face those grades, the more talk of politics by one-sided people that shouldn't seem to know the difference between left and right. Person after person that all sound like broken records, saying you look depressed. But if they're not even stating politics right and make fun of real-world problems, do you believe them? In the end, it's the same thing and nothing new. The fights from home to school, you don't feel heard because everyone else is talking and aren't leaving space for anyone else to breathe. The future is what everyone's talking about. It's all they care for. What's the point of thinking about the future if you're not living now? You take their advice and try to start your future life now. But how do you do that if dreams seem so out of proportion? Crawling out of school to just be pushed back in, to redo what you did wrong. The simple few things keep life a possibility. Finally looking forward to the future, but you keep pulling yourself back so nothing is spoiled. The ups and downs of summer are finally over, and it comes down to the month, the happiest, the most unreal month. You've been looking forward to this month for a while, but it doesn't seem to be true. With everything that goes on, it starts to make reality feel unreal. When it's over, you're left in a forgotten feeling of happiness that you start realizing this won't last forever. School starts again, and happiness fades quickly. You start making a name for yourself that you enjoy, not trying to hide anything, which quickly becomes hard to do. Keeping the things in mind that you set for yourself at the start, trying to keep this small status you gain quickly, but staying true to the forgotten person of who you really are, making sure it won't start falling underneath your feet. When it looked like you were almost to the end of the cavern, you look down and see that bridge you made start falling, almost falling to the bottom with it, hanging onto the edge and push yourself onto safety. You sit and look and sigh, wanting to just be free, move on, or even restart. Part all that, the present starts catching up with you, but like usual starts running off ahead. You stop and try to breathe, but it still doesn't seem to be an option. You try and find quiet, something becoming harder to find, and try and look at who you are now. A constantly changing person in a constantly changing time. And you see something blurry, something aggravating, something confusing, something scared, something. You try and look at the past instead of the future, because the present doesn't seem to be working out. You see you've lost yourself, and you wish to find it, but you're still in a dark room and only saw a glimpse of light that burnt out. Like a snowstorm that turned all the lights out. You light a candle and shows a sign of warmth and safety. But when you sigh to show a sign of relief, the candle blows out, and you're now scared. Once that candle light burnt out, everything started to seem unreal. Words, people, the world, life, nothing seemed real, because everything, all of it, shouldn't have happened. It all seems too good. Your mind is scattered, and is becoming darker, just like the room, but as well, there's a blank. The thoughts of ending it all doesn't seem too bad, but you're still strapped on to that something. But you're sick of it. This town, the people, your mind, and you want to restart it. The wish of silence, the wish of it going away, means something. It still seems all too good, because it just keeps getting worse. You find a seat on the edge of the cliff, or on the bottom of that dark, barren floor, and you start crying, and quietly say to yourself, as if you're in a loud room, to life, I am sorry.